They came home to ash, to rubble where their cities once stood, to silence where their children used to play. This is what defeat looks like. It was not just a war. It was a systematic dismantling of a people's dream, a dream called Biafra. And when the guns finally fell silent in 1970, the world expected the Igbo people to disappear quietly into the ruins. They did not. Soldiers door to door just to survive. And yet, he walked those roads with his head held high. I have proved that I can do anything, he said, in any circumstance, against any desperate odds, to surrender, the sheer unbreakable will to rise. Those became the tools of resurrection.
The federal government, headed by General Gowan, required all foreign service officers of Igbo extraction to take oath of allegiance to the federal government. And I refused to take the oath of allegiance to the federal government.
You refused?
I refused because I said that at that time, the pogrom in northern Nigeria, the killing of Igbo people in northern Nigeria, and the exodus of Igbo people from Lagos and other parts of Nigeria back to the east, I expected the federal government to condemn those killings. And not only to condemn them, but to take action to stop the killings. It didn't do that. And I said to myself, there was no reason why, in good conscience, I could swear an oath of allegiance to the federal government.
No outside hands helped to rebuild what was destroyed in Igbo land. The Igbo rebuilt it themselves. Today, 30th of May, 2026, we do not gather to mourn in silence. We gather to remember with fire. We remember the mothers who fed armies on nothing, the engineers who built rockets from scrap metal, the doctors who performed surgery by candlelight. Still standing, still standing. Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day, May 30th, 2020. My name is Prince Onwadenim Ngozi Chukwuka Fortune. I will see you in my subsequent videos. Bye!
Anyone